What's up, everybody? Patrick from wpbuilderhelper, and in today's episode, we're in part 3 of building the Woocommerce Oxygen Builder website. So we're going to be doing part 3. Part 3 is going to involve building a lot of templates for things. Some things, once again, I can't just build just yet, since there's a logical step in building them, but I can go back and I can build most of the WooCommerce pages. I can build some of the inner content pages, those type of things, and get it started and begin the process of building that and start showing you what's happening and how the website's going to come together. And while I'm doing that, I'll kind of talk through what's going on, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what I've found out, those type of things. So just exactly what you'd expect. Once again, if you're brand new here and you like this channel, go ahead, like and subscribe down below. And for those of you who are brand new to the channel, first-time watchers, we're a WordPress channel that takes and does a bunch of tutorials and things like that. So if you want to learn how to build a website, you want to learn what problems I run into, which page builders I like, which plugins I like, those type of things, follow this channel and you'll learn more of that. All right, so let's get started. Hey everybody, Patrick back with you again, and here we are again with our website. So as you can remember, this is what we built the other day when we were kind of going through and building it. Now we're going to take and we're going to kind of go in and build up these sample pages or these archive pages, whatever you want to call them. That's what we're going to build. And I want to talk about something that many people may or may not know. I mean, I didn't know it until I started building it. But I'm going to talk about some things that you might want to know. One of them being the fact that Oxygen, if you're not aware, Oxygen actually has WooCommerce built into it. So typically in the past, when I've built a website with it, this has got, you struggle with WooCommerce. It doesn't have as many features as you would think. Most page builders just don't. They say they allow you to build with WooCommerce, and then the second you start building with them, you find out very quickly that that's not exactly the case. They don't allow you to build with WooCommerce. You can build with it, it's just really funky the way that it works. And I think that using Oxygen, I've kind of started to understand why that is. So let's start building some pages, and I'll show you why. So we're going to go into the cart page first. That'll be the first page that we edit. And I'm going to go through. I've actually already installed WooCommerce and I've installed the Oxygen WooCommerce plugin. So we have both of them installed and active. So what that should allow us to do is once we get inside one of our pages, it's going to actually bring up a WooCommerce area that's over to the side, and you'll get to see what I'm talking about. So in here, you see this short code? This is part of the problem and part of what we run into. Sorry there, got interrupted for a moment. But that was part of the problem. That short code is the reason why most WooCommerce things do not work with anything. And I did not realize that. For some reason, I'm not a big WooCommerce person. I've never done WooCommerce on very few websites because while there are a number of people that use them, I find that a lot of people end up going with something like Shopify, or they just go with something different. They a lot of times do not go with WooCommerce. It's just the way it is. You can't change the way it is, but it is what it is. So in this, you'll see that we have our main area. This is what we created the last time we were here. But WooCommerce builds everything, and like I said again, they build everything with short codes. And those short codes, which you just saw in Oxygen that was in Gutenberg, was how they build their pages. And I never realized, it never dawned on me until recently, that those short codes are the reason why page builders have struggled so much trying to get with WooCommerce, because it doesn't like custom script the pages. It just puts in a short code. And if your page builder cannot manipulate that short code or go in and edit those type of things, then you can't really change what you're already working with. So in here, I'm about to show you what we're going to do. We're going to add in a section. So we're building the cart page of WooCommerce. We add in a section just because you should put things in sections. That's the way it works. And you could name your section, do whatever you want. If you want to add in a nice background, in the Oxygen demo, they actually add a nice background. They're building a website. We're not going to do that just yet because while we are building our website, I'm wireframing it. So the thought process is get everything in place, look at it, see what it looks like, and then you go back and you make the final changes rather than doing it while you're working on it. Some people may say that's counterproductive, but in most cases I find it works for me because it lets me see what things I need to get with, and it gives you more of a roadmap. Like, okay, I got to work on this, 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 and this. So from here, we're going to click. You can see right here they have a shopping cart page. They have a cart page, an account page, order tracking page, breadcrumbs, cart total. They have all of that. So we're going to click the shopping cart and we're going to add it in the section. And remember, with Oxygen, you're not drag and dropping. That's a big thing. A lot of people get confused by that, but that's a big thing. You're not drag and dropping. And in this shopping cart, you can kind of adjust things if you want to adjust them. If you want to adjust the primary button, you can adjust all that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get all of that squared away once we get the pages. So once this is done and you've got your shopping cart, go ahead and click Save. And this is, once again, just like the demo. For anybody who is interested, the demo that they have, Oxygen has one on their page where they go through and they build everything from scratch. I don't think it's going to go as in-depth as this tutorial because I am taking every single page and going one by one and doing it. And a lot of times I find that when people do tutorials, I don't know if they do it on purpose, but they don't show you the nitty-gritty of everything that they're doing. You're just more or less in the page and they're customizing the page. And for some people who are trying to understand how things work, that doesn't work for them. They want to see the whole process. And so I think that a lot of the tutorials out there, you don't get to see it. You're just seeing inside of Oxygen. You're not seeing inside of WordPress. You're not seeing this boring part that I'm doing here where I'm going in and updating these pages. But that's important for some people. Some people need to see that visualization. And I think that that's something that's understated in our industry. They kind of show you the end product without ever showing you all the crap they have to go through to get to that end product. It is what it is. All right, so once again, so this is the, and this was the hardest part. I can't remember which page this was. This was the, let me go through and look. Uh-oh. That's incorrect. I don't know why that did that. That's weird. That's strange. So for some reason the shopping cart is showing right here, but it's also showing the footer. I wonder why it's showing the footer. Something weird is going on here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure we can safely ignore it. I'm pretty sure where we were going with this was that I was in the My Checkout page. Let's find out. I'll save this as my checkout, and then if it's not, I'll come back and I'll delete it. What is going on? Okay, so for some reason, I don't know what this is. I don't know why I did that. So this is the checkout page. We'll save this. Let's look at this on the front end. So sometimes this kind of stuff happens. You get little glitches every now and then. Sometimes it doesn't affect your page, sometimes it does. I've seen this type of thing. You know, I've never found a page builder that, to me, has ever been something that is without fault. They all have some kind of fault in some way, shape, or form. So don't get too frustrated over things like that. Just kind of work with it, see what you can do. So yes, as you can see, this is a cart page, which is what I did. Hopefully, I think I set it as my cart. Let's go back and look at that. It's the cart page, but as you can see, the cart is empty. But when you go into Oxygen, something's going on where it's like breaking, like it doubled up the header, and that may just be that one thing when you're putting it in. It may have been the way I clicked, there's no telling. But the good news is, guess what? It doesn't affect the way it looks on the front end. It's just the way it looks on the back end for whatever reason. And like I said, that you run into that with page builders. That's not something that I would be shocked by. Page builders in general have quirks to them that just end up breaking them at certain times when they're playing with these different solutions that don't always work with their page builder. So that's not surprising at all. You get used to it and eventually you just learn to live with it. So yeah, you can see this kind of breaks for whatever reason when we're doing the shopping cart. But is this in fact the checkout? This is the checkout. So that is the cart page. That actually is the cart module, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Wait. Cart. Shopping cart website. Yeah, that should be correct. Shopping cart and website. So there's what's in your shopping cart. Then there's the checkout. Well, then is this checkout? Let's go back. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna just leave the page for now. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go back and we're gonna look at this. I'm pretty sure that I might have screwed up because it says checkout. Okay, so that's what I did. Why was it called cart just now? Is that what the page is called? This says, oh, I might have clicked on the wrong sample. So that was the checkout. Yes, this is the cart. Okay, so that's correct. That's correct. I was worried I was putting the wrong shortcut. I was putting the wrong Oxygen thing in the wrong thing, but it's fine. It's good. So you're going to keep going through this up until you get to the shop page, and then at the shop page I'll actually show you what to do with the shop page. Just keep in mind that as you're going through it, trying to remember what page you're using. I know that sounds really ridiculous. You're like, well, just remember what page you're on, because you're going to have to go through and you're going to have to add in the information that you need, whether that be a cart page or account page or whatever type of page that you're building. And some people build extra pages just depending. There's a number of different things that you can do. You can change all of this. So that's part of the beauty of Oxygen, is they give you the ability to change all of this and add certain things to it. Like if maybe I want every page to have breadcrumbs, you can add in breadcrumbs. You can totally do that. They allow you to do that. Yeah, you can see it kind of broke on that page. It's so weird. I wonder why that happened. I guess I'm going to have to submit that as a bug. So we'll go to my account, and that's where we want to go to for that. But you can also see, so in a second I'll show you what I'm talking about, but you can see that my account already has all of this, and it tells you what the details are and everything like that. But you can see there's also like an order tracking, a breadcrumbs, product upsells, those type of things you can just kind of add in on your back end as you want them, which is kind of neat. It's a pretty cool feature. And we're going to go back to the back end. I don't think we're going to do the shop page, but I'll try to do it. The reason why I wasn't going to do the shop page is because the shop page requires you to have something, something installed. And right now I don't think there's anything. We don't have any products. So when I go and I look at the products, I know we don't have any products. because I haven't installed any. I know there's some default products you can install because that's what I did on my, yeah. See, you can start an import, but I don't have any imported. So I'm going to have to find some defaults. They used to, a long time ago, allow you to default some kind of, I guess you would call them filler products, but they just don't do that anymore. You can still find them online, but you have to go search for them. They just don't have them. You just can't import them from directly from the. I don't know if people were abusing it. I don't know, but for some reason it's not there anymore. That's a pain in the butt. So we're going to go to the shop page and we're going to build that out. Which once again, the shop page is one area that Oxygen does a really good job at. I mean, it does a really good job with almost everything in here, but the shop page in general, I really like because they built a templating system sort of around it. They have a widget, I guess you could call it, where you specifically can go in and drop the default shop page for Woocommerce, and then you can customize it based upon Oxygen's colors and everything like that, which is really, really nice.
2,000 years later.
Hey, what's up everybody? So after spending some time playing with Woocommerce, I came to the realization that it wasn't going to work. I was doing something wrong, and I'm about to show you what I was doing wrong because I spent at least a day working on it, trying to figure out what I was doing wrong, and there's no mention of it in any of the documentation or anything. Granted, I'm kind of an idiot, so I should have known better because I had done it before, and if you follow the instructions in the Oxygen tutorial, you'd never have any problems. But if you don't follow the instructions in the Oxygen tutorial, you're going to be in for a bad time, and that's exactly what I did. So the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to import some products. I found that WooCommerce does have this sample file that you can use to import products. So I found that. So I'm going to be working with that. So I had already downloaded the import. I'm just going to start it because I need to have something to show you on the shop page. And we'll go into the dummy data and we'll import those products, those sample products, and just use whatever the default values are if you're just trying to do it. And I'll just let the importer run, and then that should import these products, and then like I said, that'll give us some dummy products to use just so we can see what's going on the main page. So I'll talk about part of the problem since I don't want to make this video any longer than what it was. When you're going into the page, WooCommerce actually makes a shop page, but that shop page is kind of a dummy page, at least in the essence that under a normal shop page, I'm assuming that it does have some kind of short code that it follows or something. But when you're using it with Oxygen, if you go in and you try and edit the shop page, then you're going to find very quickly that that shop page can lead to problems when you're editing it. Specifically, kind of what you saw just a couple seconds before this video started was where the page loads completely blank, and there's nothing that you can do to stop it from loading blank. It just loads blank. So it almost looks like it's broken, but it's not actually broken. It's because in order to take and make the shops page, you have to physically go. In order to take and do that, you have to go into the templates. And that's a pretty important part of the step that I missed. As soon as this is done importing, I'll go to the templates and I'll actually show you what I did to get it to work. And then you'll see that the page actually works correctly for whatever reason. That's kind of an annoying. As a matter of fact, let me see if it's working correctly. It shouldn't be working correctly right now, I don't think. But let me see if it's working correctly right now. And actually, I lied. It is. Because you can see that this is the page. It's defaulting to the shop page, which is fine. But you can see that that is working. So our import's working correctly. It's probably not finished working. No, it's not. But it is working correctly. So we've got our import items and everything. And let's see what happens when we click an item. Because, yes, This is what I wanted to show you. So you'll see a blank page shows up now on the screen. That is because I haven't done the product page. I'm about to do that too. I'll show you how to do that. But once again, let me try to let this run because I want to make sure that all my demo items are imported. And then we can go for there. I guess I should have probably taken this off camera, but in all honesty, like I said, people want to learn, and so it helps them to see all the steps and not skipping the steps and going through and seeing what type of problems that we have. On other news, hopefully the music issue is solved. I went to Envato, and I had looked over some of the description with the music problem that I was having, and I've uploaded my license, and it appears that the company that's in charge of dealing with that has yet to take and approve it or say that I have a licensed copy of the song for whatever reason. Have no idea why, but they've done that now where that's a big thing. And apparently Envato, in case you didn't know, if you use any of their music on your videos, you're going to be hit with this. They have some kind of thing that runs in the back of YouTube. It's like a YouTube algorithm or something along those lines. And it'll go and it'll periodically check for songs that it heard off of Envato so that it makes sure that you're not stealing music and things like that, which I totally understand, but you need to give me a way that I can make and verify. I get that the copyright has nothing to do with anything. Okay, so the products are done. But you need to give me a way that I can take and I can do that much quicker. That's just a rant. That's just something to fill the time. But I thought that you guys might be interested in it. So what I had to do was I had to create a page called Shopping Archives. I mean, you could call it whatever you want. You could call it Archives. You could call it whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter because the page name doesn't matter. You could call it 12344 as long as you knew what it was. It's just for the sake of showing you that it's a page within Oxygen that has a catch-all where it ends up getting all of your products and all of things like that. So I'm about to show you once this loads up what I did exactly, just so we can walk through it. And then we'll build the product page, and that should be it. Your WooCommerce is done from that point. Like, you're finished. You can start designing your website and building your website and customizing everything. And that's where the real fun begins. So I know a lot of people are probably waiting for that because I've gotten some feedback from different people saying that they're really enjoying watching somebody go through the Oxygen builder. And I plan to do this with a lot more, not just Oxygen, but Divi and all the rest of the builders that are out there. Even though I know some people don't like those builders, I still want to do it. I want to build different affiliate sites with them and maybe see how it goes and just kind of show you what you can do with them. So we're just waiting for this to load, and then once this loads, we should be pretty good. It should come up with the, yeah, here we go. It should come up. So this is, not sure why this is actually showing so small. That's a little bit weird. Once again, the bugs are real. But you saw on the other page it worked out perfectly. I have no idea why this is defaulting like this. Because it did not do that before. And I don't think there's any size or spacing. Nope. There's no size or spacing. So just leave it. If that's the case, just leave it. That's really annoying to have to deal with because you're like, you know, you're trying to see what you're using, but as it turns out, this is actually, there's nothing wrong with this. We've seen this before. And this goes across the whole entire page, which is kind of ridiculous. But all I did was I went into Add, and I went into WooCommerce, and I added the products list, I believe, instead of the categories list. The categories list does something weird where I guess because I don't have any category pictures, it doesn't load anything. And you can also add in titles and archive descriptions and everything like that. So if you wanted to, you could go in and add in an archive description in here. Of course, it's going to load at the bottom, but the whole purpose was just to show you that you can add this if you want. And of course, there's nothing in the archive description, so I don't think that it makes a difference because I didn't put anything in the archive description. So we'll delete that and we'll save this page, and we're going to go to products now. So you saw before our products page did not load. Oh, one more thing I need to mention too. When you're setting this, you need to go in and you need to set some of these things. So the where does this template apply, you need to do that. So in case of this, I set all product categories, product variation, shop orders. You can set it for whatever you want. I think I said it's something different before. They also recommended, Oxygen support also recommended upping the template priority. So I'm going to up this to about 50, just so we can make sure it overrides any other templates that I come out with, because you want that to default as your main template. So we're going to set up a new template, and we're just going to call it product. Let's call it single product, which I would recommend. And then from here, we're going to just select products under this singular product. And then that way, it's going to pretty much catch everything. Click publish. And then we're going to go into Oxygen, and we're going to edit with Oxygen, and we're going to add in our single product, just so you can see that there is a single product and it does work. And usually once you do that, you're good. And then from here, our page is basically built, or at least the bones of our page. Granted, I get we haven't built any of the sub pages. Like, we haven't done the blog section, we haven't done the home page, we haven't done the about me page, we haven't done a contact page. Those pages will come in the future. I wanted to get this out of the way first before we do that. And then I wanted to move on to those pages, because those will be pages that we'll take and we'll go in and we'll add. Probably using some of Oxygen's templates just to speed this up. I mean, I don't think I need to take and go through it and make it as thorough as can be. This is just to show you what you can do with Oxygen. And then later on, I'll go back and I'll customize them a little bit more or something along those lines. But for right now, I'm just going to be doing that. So one thing you'll notice is that, of course, this loaded up. Let me go back. I never selected, when I was selecting the area, I didn't select the main. The main wasn't listed, so that's part of the reason why that just happened. Because you actually have to select that before you go and use the Oxygen template. And then let's go in here, and we're going to go in here, and we're going to go back to what I was saying. So once again, just showing, sometimes you have to go and play with things to figure out what's going on. So if you don't see your header and footer, it's probably because you're not using your main template, which is going to also have your basic template set up. And you use that across the whole entire website. If you want to, Lewis had some cool things that he did where you could switch the template up, and you could use like a light template on one page and then a dark template on another. That was really cool. A lot of people like that idea. I think it's still a really cool idea. That's hard to find on most other page builders. They actually don't support that kind of thing. Some of the themes do, I know. Specifically Oceans WP and a couple of other ones, probably Astra and some of those other themes, they actually support dual headers like that. It's really hard to find on a page builder. Most page builders you cannot do that with. I would say probably Elementor you could, but I definitely don't think you can do it with Divi, at least not right now, without tweaking something, making it a little bit more friendly. So in here, we're going to go in here. And of course, I could build this out if I wanted to. Let's go with a section first, because you always want to add a section. And in here, I think we want to go with the product builder is what I would go with. So the product builder is going to take the default building of a product within WooCommerce. So as you can see here, here's the default product. And it just kind of lets you customize all this. It lets you customize the colors and the links and the text and everything. It's just really nice that they allow this. If you wanted to, You could use all of these other things: product excerpt, description, product images, product price, cart button, product tables, product info, product meta, product rating. You could use all of this, and you could take and you could actually customize it to where you can make it look similar to what Oxygen did. What Oxygen did right here in their preview feature, where you kind of get to see that you can build it out and make it look a lot different. So if we go to the WooCommerce portion of this, you can see right here, like, they customized this a product image, and then that's the price, and then that's the title, and then that's the meta description. Like, they basically built out this page from scratch so that you can take and you can put whatever you want on this page. You don't have to follow this same thing. So if for some reason you don't like related products, then just delete it and build your own, like customize it like this. You've even got, you can see some colors that you can select in there and things like that. Although I think that that's an extra. That may be using like one of the, that may be using another plugin, because I'm pretty sure that that's not standard among there. But just to show you that you can do that. So that's pretty cool. So now we'll save this. And then we're going to take and we're going to go into the front end. So let's go into the front end of this. And we'll just go to, this should bring us to our test site. Yes, there we go. And let's try one of our images down below. See if it works. Yes, and it works. And there you go. And that is how you build a WooCommerce page with Oxygen. And once again, this is not a full tutorial. We're going to keep going through this. The purpose of this was to show you just what you can do with building it. It's not pretty, it's not finished, it's not done. It's just there for the single purpose of showing you that you can build it. And we're going to go through and customize it. So there's a lot more to come. So for you people, somebody's going to say, hey, what about if you want to add a shopping cart? I'm going to add that. As you can see, if I view my cart, let's make sure that the cart is working. We've added it to the cart. Yes, $18. Proceed to checkout. Let's make sure the checkout works, even though we haven't selected a payment processor. You can see this is kind of off, but that's okay. We'll go back and we'll fix all of this. We just wanted to get it up and running. That was the purpose of it. The purpose was just to get it up and running and just to get it to the point where we can kind of start going in and editing it. And by the looks of it, it's working perfectly. So this is great. We've got it all up and running. All right. So in the next video, we'll start moving on to the other pages that we have inside of this website. And then from there, we'll start customizing it and doing everything like that. I was hoping this wasn't going to be a long tutorial and that we were going to go through it, but in fact, it's going to be long. It's going to be broken up. It's just the way it is. So thank you guys for joining me again today. I hope you guys have a great time, and I will see you guys next time.